everybody, Chris here from Fake Sports News, back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick recap of what happened during today's matches, that of course being day 2 of week 2 of stage 4 of the CDL. Now we kick things off with of course the LA Thieves taking on the Paris Legion. You guys know I was backing the Thieves to win 3-1, and it went the opposite way. Of course the Legion looked great today, they won 3-1, and they played Thieves really tight. They of course lost map 1, it was really close. Honestly, the Legion just kind of sold and they should have won map 1. Thieves didn't look too great in the Moscow, but they were able to bring it back. Then Legion, of course, won map 2, of course, that being Search and Destroy. It was a 6-3 on raid. You guys know I took Paris map 2, and honestly, that was kind of unsurprising. Paris looked really good in Search, but Thieves just looked really bad, if I'm being honest with you. They looked pretty lost, and it wasn't the S&D that we're used to seeing from them, especially on raid, one of their stronger S&D maps. Map 3, map 3, Gary Control. It was pretty close. Thieves almost brought it back, but they got taken down pretty early. They were down 2-0, and they won 2 straight, and then Legion closes out in the attacking round. And they could have won the attacking round, the defensive round, round 5 for the Thieves. But they just kind of, I don't know, they fell apart at the end, and it was just odd to watch. They weren't really on point today, and they could have closed the series out a couple of times, but they just they didn't play well together, and I'm not sure what to think going into their next matchup. Honestly, if I were the Thieves, I would try out Hook in place of Venom. Venom was clearly like just not really playing that well. Played well map 1, but 2, 3, and 4, he was kind of holding them back. Same can be said for Tej, but Tej is a veteran, and I feel like Hook and Tej would play better than Venom and Tej. So I would like to see that change come through if the Thieves are not trying to make this their final roster for the end of the year, as I said earlier in one of their videos. Map 4 APOC, I mean, they just got blown out, so not really going to analyze that too much. Their hard points looking pretty bad, if I'm being honest with you. We'll see if they can improve, but as it stands, I don't really like the hard point that I've seen from them. Now, in our second matchup of the day, we of course had the New York Subliners taking on the Florida Mutineers, our host for this home series. You guys know I was backing the Subliners to win at 3-1, but honestly, I did say it could go down to a game 5. Mutineers have looked really great at this stage, and they've definitely made the improvements. So map 1, APOC hardpoint, Mutineers took it 250 to 234. They looked really great on this. Subliners are playing off the back foot pretty much the entire map, but they almost brought it back and they almost won. So it was an impressive showing from them. They really showed their resilience, and they just showed how good of a hardpoint team they really are. Now on the map 2, standoff S&D, Subliners just ran this. ASIM and Hydra, they just went off this map. Even though Hydra was sick and ASIM was playing on a Denver server from Toronto, which we didn't know until after the series, they looked really good. And ASIM's just a beast, man. Guy's playing all the way from Toronto because of his visa issues, and didn't matter. He still fried. So in the in the raid control, me and stuttering, right? Inseparable duo. Mutineers won 3-2. It was really close. The Subliners looked good. They almost brought it back, but they just didn't really have things figured out. They didn't really look like themselves on this control. And sorry, allergies are bugging me. My nose is like, ooh. Yeah, they didn't look too good on this control. So honestly, I think Subliners need to practice control a little bit more. Maybe go back and scrim that specifically, because control is looking to be their weakest mode. Their S&D is looking a lot better, and their hard point obviously has been the best in the CDL for the last couple of months. So yeah, I don't really think they need to improve those too much. I think they really just need to improve their control, because today there were a few holes in their game that really could be exploited by teams like Florida, Optic, Faze, etc. Now in the checkmate hardpoint, this was probably the best hardpoint of the year. So if you missed it, go back and watch. It was absolutely incredible, down to the wire. And yeah, Subliners walked away with the victory at the end. Honestly, I would have backed them 1,000 times out of 1,000. I think they're just a better hardpoint team. And we saw in map 1, it was so close, but these teams are honestly pretty neck and neck at this point. Florida's made the improvements that they needed to. They're playing through Wake and Skies really well. And Havoc and Neptune have just been frying where they need to. Like, Havoc was absolutely popping off today. Hats off to him, and happy to see it. You guys know we all love Cult Havoc in the scene, so happy to see him performing well. Now in the S&D, game 5, of course, I was on Express. The Subliners won 6-2, and that's pretty much all that can be said there. It was a pretty dominant performance for them, and yeah, they walked away with the series. So good luck for the Subliners, great luck for the Mutineers. They played them very tight all the way down to the end. And yeah, Mutineers are the real deal, like I've said many times, and they're definitely my dark horse to watch out for in the major. I think they'll cause a few upsets. Now, speaking of upsets, tomorrow we have the Ultra taking on the Ravens, and honestly, I think the Ultra walk away with this one 3-1. they look to have kind of improved and they've kind of stabilized, I think, after their matchup against Dallas. That was big for their confidence and big for them just hitting the regain. Seeing how strong Florida's been, you really can't say that Ultra played bad. Florida are just playing really good right now, and they finally figured it out. So I think 3-1 for the Ultra. I think they likely lose the search. Ravens have been looking, I'll say maybe map one. I think Ravens maybe excuse me and stuttering once again. Undefeated duo. I think Ravens maybe take map one if they take a map at all. If not, it's a 3-0 in favor of the Ultra. But as it stands, I'll say a 3-1 just out of respect to the Ravens. They are a good team. In our next series, we have Optic Chicago taking on Paris Legion. I think this is another 3-1. Honestly, I think the Thieves just look really bad with this iteration of their roster. You can't really have Tej and Venom, of course, playing sub. One of them needs to really go, in my opinion. I just don't like this pairing. Both of them are very, like, I don't know, selfless sub players, and you really need someone who's a little bit more patient and is more of a roaming slayer like Hook is, who plays a little bit more, I guess, methodical and a little bit slower. Hook is a very fast-paced sub, yes, but Tej and Venom both have that very entry aggressive play style. So having the two of them playing together just kind of doesn't make sense to me from a team comp standpoint. So I think maybe if they try out Hook, it'll get better. But I just don't think Paris are necessarily that strong. They are a great team. I've said that I like what I've seen from them lately. But against a team like Optic Chicago, who are obviously going to be looking to redeem themselves after a 3-0 from Faze in record time, really embarrassing performance last week. I think that Chicago walks with a 3-1 or possibly a 3-0 if they're really, really practicing like I know they will be. Now, in our last matchup of the day, we have the Minnesota Rokkr taking on the Seattle Surge. And I think that honestly, this one will be a 3-1 in favor of the Rokkr. I like what I've seen from them with the addition of Major Maniac in place of accuracy. I think this team needed some life breathed back into them, if you will. And I think Major Maniac is a breath of fresh air that this team needed to kind of pull things together. They really were starting to get pretty weak in their hard point in their search, but he's really starting to strengthen their, I guess, teamwork, I guess you could say. They play at a similar pace now. All the Rokkr players, Priest and Major Maniac, they play at a pretty similar pace. Obviously, they played together on Faze last year. And then Attach and Sandy, obviously, they're both speed demons on the map. So I really like their pacing now. I think accuracy kind of added a level of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Contrast that was necessarily making it difficult for them to get consistency in their performances. So I think with this new iteration of their roster, of course, bringing Major Maniac back, it'll give all of their players kind of a duo, right? Priesta and Major, they play pretty quick. They're pretty quick players. Both can play flex relatively well. Major's a good main AR. He's a quick main AR, whereas accuracy is more of a stable and slow main AR. So I do like this Minnesota roster. Of course, on the side of the Seattle Surge, they've just been getting really close, but no cigar. So honestly, if you are going to bet, I'm probably not going to be betting for the rest of the season up until champs, because this is the time of the year where teams are really starting to figure things out, and the upsets are just going to be round the clock. So honestly, Rokkr could lose tomorrow. Seattle could come out and shock us. It's just that time of the year. And personally, if you're going to bet on this, I would say hedge it, be safe, but don't expect too much. Honestly, I think Seattle's been playing very, very well. Rokkr has also been playing well, but we don't know what to expect from either team tomorrow. So personally, I'm going to say Minnesota 3-1 just based on their recent strength and Seattle's recent struggles, but it could go either way. So my final call, I'll say 3-2 Minnesota. I think they ice up in game 5. I think they take it, but I do recognize that there is strong potential to Minnesota 3-1, and that would be the more likely outcome just because Seattle, I mean, they play good teams, right? Like they just played FaZe and they played them pretty tight, but they just can't really close it out. And that's the more important thing in COD. It doesn't matter how close you get. It's a matter of just closing series out for that mental aspect of it. So yeah, guys, I'll just about wrap it up for me. If you want a quick recap, I'm thinking 3-1, 3-1, and 3-2, just to be respectful. 3-1, of course, on the Ultra side. I think it'll honestly be a 3-0. I think respectfully for Optic, it'll be a 3-0 as well. But we'll say 3-1 and 3-1 just to be on the safe side. These teams are going to really be trying to turn up now the champs is around the corner, and they're going to want to qualify for the winners bracket if they really can. If there are enough CDL points left in the season for them, teams like Paris and London definitely have the room. It may not be easy, but it is possible. So they're going to really be playing their hearts out like we saw earlier today with Paris. and they're going to try to cause these upsets. So that's why I'm thinking 3-1, 3-1, and then 3-2 for, the Minnesota Rokkr side. I almost said Surge. Because I think Rokkr will definitely try to close this out. They want to keep their strong seeding for champs going. And Surge, they want to get better, right? They don't want to be dead last going in champs. So be sure to tune all the COD tomorrow. Link, as always, is down below in the description. If you guys want to go check out my new series, The Call Out, on the chat's YouTube and Twitter page, then be sure to do that. Of course, that goes live every day at 2:30 before the matches. It's a little bit briefer. Sorry, this video is a little bit long. Just had a lot to talk about, and there's 3 matches tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. Like, comment, subscribe, show them some love on their channel. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe here. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description down below, as always. That's where I give my live betting calls, tips, etc. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoy all the COD tomorrow. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Once again, this has been Chris with Esports News. I'm signing off. Peace.